What is up? What is up, everybody? Been a couple days. Uh, I don't give you a chance to miss me because I do news every Tuesday, and we get a couple episodes in every week, so we'll make sure we get these in here. It's the Hoppy with Cage, episode 170, and today's episode brought to you by Bleecker Trading, by Arena Club, and by Ice Labs. So let's jump into it, guys. Let's have some fun with this, right? Got a fun title. Got a couple things to talk about. I'm happy. I record this, on an early Wednesday morning after the Yankees completed their home sweep of the two games. So we're going to Cleveland up 2-0. The Mets come back home tonight, 1-1, looking to take a hold of this series, that pivotal game 3 where they can take a 2-1 lead and really put the pressure on the Dodgers. Baseball is fun. This is the best time of the year sports-wise. I mean, I know there's probably some disagreement from some folks, but just think about it, right? Football's starting to heat up. You got trades happening. Teams are starting to take shape. Hockey is starting. The NBA is about to start in a couple of days, and baseball is in the stretch run here where you're gonna be in the World Series soon. So we're coming up into a real fun sports time, and soccer being played, World Cup qualifiers being played. I mean, Messi had 3 goals last night, had a hat trick, I think, and 2 assists. I haven't seen any posts yet. That was like the Ohtani game with the 10 RBIs, the greatest game ever played. I haven't seen any posts about that yet. But maybe they should do that. Who knows? Maybe make a Tops Now card about it or something. So anyway, we're having some fun. We really are. We're having some fun. It's a fun time in sports. Some fun stuff to talk about, right? And, people have messaged me like, you got to do an episode and kill this guy. You got to do an episode and kill these guys. And I'm not killing anybody, there are definitely things to talk about, though, in the space. And let's jump right in, right? Let's jump right in and talk about one of them. If you watch my news, I had a news done. And then the story about, Fanatics canceling their Orlando event broke. So I redid it and put that in. It was one of the first things out there to actually have that news in it because it just broke. I've noticed that whenever I do an early morning Tuesday news, something big happens that day. It's funny. It's like the news cycle, right? Like people, bad politics or bad stuff, they wait until Friday afternoon after business hours to drop it. This way no one pays attention, and by Monday morning everyone's forgotten about it. It's like if you're gonna do something bad, you do it, you drop the news on a Tuesday afternoon. This way it doesn't make my news. I've started doing more of a late edition because of this. I've started catching a lot more news by doing a late edition. I almost missed the Fan Fest. So let's spend a couple minutes on it because I am not a Fanatics insider and I do not know anything about that show. I went to the Fan Fest in New York. It was a crazy event. My son had a blast, less about the cards and more about the sports and you name it. And I have a lot of friends who are wrestling fans who had a blast there. By all accounts, it was a good show. It was a massive show. It was a massive and expensive undertaking that, of course, had its drawbacks, had its pitfalls, right? But, it was going to be difficult for them to replicate that. They went all out. It was their first one. They did their thing. They walked through the 40-40 club with Jay-Z there, and they had Tom Brady there, and they had, people walking the floor, you name it, because it was the first time doing it. And they were following that up with Pittsburgh. Chances are they weren't going to be able to replicate what they did in New York and Pittsburgh, and it got canceled. Then the next one was going to be Orlando, and it was supposed to be, that first weekend in November. I've gotten messages as recently as this past weekend, a couple of days ago. Hey, come down. It's easy. You could stay with me, or the hotels are really cheap, and they are in Orlando. Just come down for a day or come down, spend some. I was actually, I don't want to really say like I was 80%, but I was having conversations about it in my house here. Like, hey, what if I did a day trip? What if I flew down, and flew back? And I guess I'm glad I didn't because I'm someone who only buys non-refundable airline tickets. I'm not a travel insurance kind of guy. and I would be out that money, I think, or I probably would, try to like push it to some other flight or whatever it is, be a little inconvenient because yesterday Fanatics announced that they were, pushing that Orlando event back till next year, meaning it sounds like, that New York Fan Fest that they did here in the summer is going to be the only, Fanatics event of the year. It's hard not to draw conclusions, right? I mean, they said the right thing, right? I mean, obviously Florida has been ravaged with storms over the last couple of weeks. And, that was one of the reasons that they gave for canceling, postponing the event. I mean, Disney World barely closed. I don't think they even wanted to close, and they're right back open. You know what I mean? And people are back in the parks. It definitely didn't hit Orlando head on. And, there are conventions. I looked this up. There are conventions going on this weekend right there. There are conventions going on in the convention space where Fanatics Fan Fest was supposed to be in a couple weeks. This coming weekend. Bigger ones, it looks like. And people are there. People are traveling and they're not canceling. Doesn't mean they're not canceling for the right reason. I mean, I take them at their word, but of course it's reasonable to have a conversation about that, was this event not going to be all they thought it was? Was it not shaping up to be, the event that they wanted it to be? And so they kind of packed it in. I will say that as recently as the end of last month, there was really no promotion about this Orlando event at all. People who I know who live in Orlando were messaging me, asking me if it was actually still going on because they had seen no promos, no promotional, no nothing. And then, they started promoting it, not that heavy, but started promoting it and looked like it was going to go forward. And, there were some cryptic posts out there from some folks like, hey, we're just going to give it a go kind of deal, is what it looked like. And, I mean, listen, like I said, I don't kill anybody. It's reasonable to cancel something when the state is so ravaged by storms. I'm going to take it at face value that that is the reason why they're canceling it. And then if these storms didn't happen, they would have went forward with these, with the event. The cancellation, however, provides a bunch of different other issues, right? I mean, are they making their dealers whole? Are they making sure that anybody who has something that's non-refundable is going to get paid back? Obviously, refunds for everybody for everything they did. Are they reaching out to people who bought tickets and not just giving those people refunds for their tickets, but checking with those people whether or not they are having issues with hotels, having issues with their airfare. Sometimes that customer service kind of goes a long way instead of just dropping a, hey, we're canceling it. Sorry, don't blame us. It's the weather. Obviously you can't do everything. If people have non-refundable hotels and non-refundable, whatever it is, at the very least, you can tell people who are in the Orlando event, like, we're going to give you a discount on your ticket for next time, or anybody who bought a ticket, instead of refunding you, we're going to carry your ticket over for next time and upgrade you to the next level. Maybe skip a line for one autograph guest, or maybe get a free general admission ticket for every other ticket you bought. Bring a friend to the event or something like that. There are ways to do it where, as a company, you kind of, you can do the right thing. You can't make everybody whole, I'm sure. But, you can understand that, people are probably going to be put out by this a bit. And, as a company, you got to kind of do the right thing. So that's the more, I don't want to kill that. It's, it's fresh, it's new. I'm sure people are going to come out and talk about it. I mean, I heard there might be like an LA event. I don't know when the next one's going to be, or if there even will be a next one. You know what I mean? Like, we won't know. When there is one, we'll talk about it. All I can say is that the one that did occur, I had fun at. My kid had a blast. He really did. So, from that angle, it's sad that people are not able to experience it and that it got canceled, because, I think people would have had a good time had they had this one in Orlando. And, I think they did a good job with the one that they had here in New York. And I'm happy I got to go to it and happy I got to bring my son to it. So that's that. That's fantastic. I'm sure there'll be developments and additional information about that as we go along. And we'll figure that out. The next one, Mercury. I got some Mercury cards yesterday. Let me tell you something. I got a pet peeve. And this is going to be so petty, but I got a pet peeve. I'm going to get them. Yeah, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them because they're right here. I'm not going to, you're not going to miss me, right? I'm going to be right here. But I got some of the cards here. They got mailed to me yesterday, right? And so look, this is a base card, right? So if you're listening to audio, I'm just holding up one of the base. It's a shiny card. And it looks like, standard the way that these cards you would expect them to look. It's in a magnet, one touch with an M Mercury sticker where you'd often see a top sticker or a Panini sticker. And it's a shiny, base card. These boxes were $8,000 plus tax, shipping, you name it. $8,000. We're breaking, listen, if you believe Geoff Wilson, we'll talk about him in a second. They're $10,000 boxes. They're $10,000 boxes, all right? The top row has 5 cards. The bottom row has 3 cards. That's 8 cards in the box. That means every card's $1,000. They come individually wrapped. Take your time, right? You sold 3,000 boxes, and there's 8 cards per box. There's 24,000 total cards that go into this very expensive high-end product. Why does the sticker got to look like shit? Why does it got to be on all crooked? Why does it got to be already peeling up and like coming off? Why does it got to be nicks and dents? And why does the sticker got to be like on an angle? What are you doing? But that's not what does it to me, right? These are cool. I gave them to my son yesterday. And I said, here you go. Here's all the cards we got. Here's your. So I like it. It's one touch, right? You want to stack them up. You want to stack up the one touches, the whole deal. Now, we ready? I'm going to let go. Watch what happens. What's that doing? What's that doing there? Oh, so if you know anything about magnets, opposites, the opposites attract. But together, this card was put in the one touch backwards. So the magnets won't stay on top of each other. So now when I make a stack, this card goes like this. Look at that. It moves. A little shifty. See that? I'm going to try to stack it up again. The 3 on the bottom, just fine. This one here, look at that. Can't stack it up. Can I? No, won't stay. Can I stack? No, won't stay. Just come on. Let's make a nice stripe. Let me a stripe. Bam. For anal collecting nerds like me, this is awful. I spent so much time like, come on. No. Come on, guys. These were $1,000 a card. Put them in the holder the same way so I can stack it. Is that too much to ask? What are you doing, Mercury? If you're not going to have any kind of quality control on this, you're not going to have it on anything. Look at this. I can't even stack the thing. Here you go. Ready? Let's stack it together. Ooh, I can't do it. No, can't do it. Why? Because you put it in backwards. Come on now. Come on. Do that on some other crap. This is $8,000 for 8 cards. You can't even put it in the holder the right way. Oh, that pissed me off. It pissed me off so much I'm laughing. Anyway, so there's pet peeve there on that. And Mercury, do you have to open it on a plane? Do you really have to open it on a plane? Is that what you got to do? Do you know? I mean, you have to know what people are going to do. Ooh, look what I did. Ooh, I want to scream. What the hell is wrong with you, pal? Come on. It's like a joke at this point. You're going to open it on a plane. Oh, my God. Anyway, so these cards, I'll hold one up. Some of them are cool. I mean, it's tough to not like some of this. Like, this is cool. Look at this. It's not worth $1,000. Apparitions out of 75. I mean, it's not worth the spot. I'll tell you that much. But it's cool. And the cool factor is this. I gave my son this stack of cards. It's like a blue parallel out of 75. It's cool looking. I gave him these and I said, okay, which ones do you want to sell? And here's the auto. A little crinkle, like ASMR. Listen, as I crinkle. Crinkle. The plastic. People like that shit. I think it's ridiculous. Anyway, there you go. Like, yeah. That's a cool auto. So I give my son the stack of these, and I said, all right, which ones do you want to sell? And he goes, I'm keeping them all. There's your test. That, to me, there's your test. I mean, he wants them all. He wants to keep them all. We're all set. We're ready to rock and roll. And and he wants to hang on to them. Let me tell you though, fingerprints everywhere. Another anal part. Do I think those cards are going to maintain their value? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I kind of don't care. Like, I spent the money. I wasted a lot of money. We went for a shot at the LeBron Wemby dual 1-of-1. I didn't get it. That's part of life. It's part of gambling. I didn't spend as much, but I spent a lot of money buying triple auto, lotto cards for the tops now, Curry, Durant, and LeBron, trying to get that lotto ticket too. It's just part of what we're doing, right? So, but he wants to keep them, he'll keep them. That's cool. I'm fine with that. Go ahead and keep the cards, and they'll go down in value. And maybe there's a lesson learned there, or maybe there isn't. Who the hell knows? What can you do? I mean, Mercury has had its moment, and I'm sure people have forgotten about it because Topps Chrome update is going to be what's broken now. And so it's funny because we've gone through now opening boxes on a plane, quality control, Fanatics Fest. But the title of my episode here was "The Market is Up, Just Not What You Own." And I want that to kind of stick in here because, if you look at kind of top line hobby, look at what people are talking about out there. It's borderline euphoria. And that just shows you how bad it was the last couple of years. But people are showing you cards going up. It's the same sort of pockets. It's the same sort of, pockets of where things are going up. The same sort of Jordan inserts, same sort of 90s inserts. But notice something, guys, because, I try to keep you informed. Have you noticed a lot more Fleer brilliance, the 24 carats starting to appear in people's big collections and on podcasts and people talking about that? Did you notice that the PMGs did their thing, and then there were Star Rubies did their thing, and then there were Flair Showcases did their thing, and now it's Fleer Brilliance doing their thing. And it's like a spin cycle. It's like rinse and repeat. I do the laundry in my house. I know all about this. Rinse and repeat until you squeeze one and then squeeze one and then squeeze and then you get the next one. I don't know about you, but I always find myself on the wrong side of that rinse and repeat. Buying too late, buying after somebody's already pumping it up. If you're hearing about the Fleer Brilliance now, you're buying into somebody else's pump. Somebody else has already bought those things up. Somebody else owns them, and they're now showing them, and they will be selling them to you, making you get all excited about how these are the new PMGs, or these are even rarer, and the essential credentials, and blah, 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 blah. And guess what? You're the one left holding it. Take it from me. Somebody was left holding rubies. Somebody was left holding, Flair Showcases that I overpaid for. Just because that's the hype cycle. And the market will be up because you'll be the mark. Can't have a market without a mark. Can't have this hobby. Make sure you're not the mark. That's what I'm here for. Trying to educate you. Fleer Brilliance. You're going to see them everywhere, man. These 24 carats, the gold cards, you're going to see them everywhere. I'm already starting. You see those videos where the typhoon is about to hit, it hits, right? People are on the beach and there's a wave off in the distance and they're like, oh, look at that. That's weird. And they go and they save their beach chair or their shoes. No, dude, start running. Start running because look what's coming. That's this right now. This is what I'm telling you. Start running because it's coming. Don't save your shoes. Just take off. And it continues to come. And what's amazing about it is people want to tell you how great the market is. The market's up. The market's up. Go look at Pancake Analytics. Yeah, I give you a shout out, Pancake. The market's not up. There's little segments, little pockets that are being, I consider, propped up. Sure. Little areas. Sure. Some things might have taken a little bit of a rebound, some high-end stuff. Man, that exquisite stuff, that's going to show some up arrows. Talk to me in a couple months. We'll see what happens there. The funny thing is that I have a difficult time trusting any of the pricing. And let me give you a real-world story as to why. Okay? A lot of these things that get pumped and hyped, and they're low pop. There's not that many of them. Oh, you don't see them. Oh, they haven't been around. All right. Anyway, I bought a card. I used Fund Your Cards. Mark, great guy, good service. He's very helpful in more than just the funding and the liquidity, but he provides some counsel. He lets you know, oh, you shouldn't pay this much, or hey, the last couple that I've seen have gone for this much, this much. It's a cool little help, especially if you're diving into a market that you don't know so well. But anyway, I gave him a couple of items to pay for my card. One was a vintage card. It sold lower than I thought it was going to sell for. Now, that's my fault. Everybody overvalues what they own. That's just the way the world works. It sold for slightly lower than the last few sales, and is what it is. And now I have another item up. You guys saw me post a story about it. My Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor debut game, Type 1. His first NBA game. Rookie of the Year, multiple championships. He's got the ball up kind of like in almost like sky hooky kind of, he's like got the ball way up. You see the wingspan. It's cool. It looks sort of like, one of these Wemby's with the wingspan kind of going on. And first game, forget about rookie, right? Forget about rookie card, which is first year. This is the photo taken in his first game. As far as I know, there's only 3 of these, only 2 sales previously, both this year. One in February for 15 and change. One more recently for 14 and change. Not 100,000, 15,400, 14,600. One at Heritage, one at Golden. And I posted those. So I gave mine to Fun Your Cards. He's got it listed at Golden. It's up. And 2 days ago, it's $116. It is less than 1% of the price of the last 2 sales. Were those sales real? If you're somebody who bought those 2 pictures or one of those pictures, can you DM me? Can you message me and tell me you actually paid for those? A statement against my own interest. I want to say that these were paid for at $15,000, but it gives me the impression that mine is worth that, right? Isn't that the way this works? And maybe mine is a different picture, or maybe mine, I don't know. Maybe it's not as clear, but I have no idea. Pictures are not the same as cards, right? But if it's not worth 14.6 or 15.4, maybe it's worth 12,000, 11,000, 10,000. I got some attention on it, which is good. Now it's at $600. $600 is still 3.5% of what the last 2 sold for. It's at a 97% discount. The market's up, just not what I own. Have you sold anything recently that went gangbusters? There's money to be made here. Product after product after product after product. Ripping, flipping, breaking. There's money to be made there. 100%. New product every day. I got to go to my shop now and pick up some Topps Update. I bought some Update stuff. When I saw that, I hope maybe we'll get some pole skins. But the stuff that I own, it's not up. I'm venture to say the stuff you own is not up either, unless you were lucky enough to buy something that is in that small pocket of pump. Maybe you actually liked those Fleer Brilliant 24 carats a couple years ago and bought one because you thought it was cool looking. You ready for the ride? Maybe put a Star Jordan before they move them up. What's going on with the Star Jordans? My Star fans are pretty quiet now. You want to know why? Because I was right. It happens a lot. Anyway, guys, there's my take. You got the Fan Fest canceled. You got boxes being opened on planes. You got magnets not sticking together. You got I'm having fun. I'm buying stuff. I'm buying stuff that I do not care whether it goes up. There's a new one. Now, this stuff doesn't cost a lot of money. Because obviously if it goes down, it goes up, I'll care. It doesn't cost a lot of money. But I'm having fun. I'm buying stuff. I'm putting stuff together. And let me tell you, I opened a lot of those has-been hotels with my daughter. What fun that was. I wish they come out with another series so that I can buy more of them and open more. Now I'm putting a grading submission together, sending a bunch of the cards to PSA. And, we completed a set. So hopefully we'll grade them all and we'll have some cards. And, that'll start off a collection for my daughter. That'll be fun too. Lots of fun stuff going on, guys. Bleecker Trading sponsors the show. They got a trade night coming up. I think it's the 22nd. So go check them out. 2 stores in the city. Go check out the new store on the west side. Tell them Kate sent you. You won't get anything free for it, but they'll laugh. Arena Club. Check out one of the slab packs. You can use code CAGE and get 10% off if you like, if you've never bought one before. But I'm pretty sure when you use code CAGE, they like load up bad repacks. So you might want to do that, not do that. I'm just kidding. Might get the CAGE repack. Something good. Who knows? I never got it, so it's still there. But go check those out. I saw some kabooms in there, more recent ones, which are pretty cool also. I mean, everybody loves a kaboom. Those kabooms resell for crazy money. That's something I was wrong about. I didn't think kabooms would have staying power. I was definitely wrong about that. People love those kaboom cards. Young kids love them. And My Slabs. Auction coming out on this Friday. Auctions every Friday. Go check out My Slabs. Those are the 3 sponsors of the show. I'll post about them as well. And if you got any questions, go ahead and reach out to me. I have an ask. Tell me what you guys are buying. Tell me what you're doing in the hobby. Tell me what's keeping it fun for you. Because every once in a while, I'll get a message. I'll get somebody shares a story with me, and I like to share it here because I start doing it myself, and it's fun for me. And people like to hear that stuff. It can't all be misery and money losing. You're supposed to be having some fun here. So if you got a fun hobby story, something that you just did recently that you want to share, send me a DM. Those are my favorite messages. Talk to you guys soon. Take care, everybody.